How can someone bring so much fun into this world? As Megan Garber says in her article that Nolan Bushnell founded the Atari and has also founded Chuck E. Cheese's. He really knew how to make people have fun. With the party restaurant and the non-forgettable big impact of the Atari. Nolan Bushnell is said to be one of the 50 men who changed America, according to Newsweek magazine. The Atari was such an impact into the gaming world, with its great moments in the Atari's lifespan, of when it was introduced, how it affected the world, and its final ending as a console. The company of Atari changed the face of entertainment when it introduced the first home gaming video console, according to Like Totally 80's article. The Atari in Japanese actually means a prediction coming true or to hit the target. The Atari really jumped the spark of video games in today's day from defining electronic entertainment. It has put the Atari literally took the world by storm and how it pioneered arcade games, home video game consoles, and home computers. The television plug-and-play capability is what caught customers' eyes. The joysticks of the Atari were very influential because of their simplicity. The Atari is supposedly called the father of all video game controllers. They wanted to test out the skills and see its development, so they decided to do an arcade version of the Magnav's Odyssey's tennis game. This would then be named Pong. You may or not be familiar with this game, but it is one of the most simplified games, yet great. Back then, this little side-to-side ball game and one simple screen made a big impact on the gaming world. In the first year, 1975, Atari Inc. released Pong as a home video game, and 150,000 units were sold. In addition to the game of Pong, there are many other technology advancements to the world from the Atari. The Atari had introduced new technology that would have a big impact on American society and culture to getting families in America to have a console, stated by All Things Atari's article. Sales of the Atari had totaled a whopping of 415 million by 1980. At first, the company realized that instead of just selling them around Christmas time, they would sell them year-round. It seems like common sense now to sell them year-round, but they thought at first that people would only use them as gifts. Easily put, the Atari really showed what gaming systems could do at the time. The Atari was actually the fastest growing company in history at the time. Throughout their vast time as the game experience, Space Invaders, Brick Breaker, and Pong were their main games that were popular. It did have a few educational games for young kids and learning. It is one of the first to have these learning outlets. The educational games did show some results in their learning capabilities and focusing ability. Throughout their great journey as the Atari changed the world, it finally had to come to an end. It had a great past and is still relevant in today's community, and remember the countless games played over the years and to the years to come, as Atari Rage said in their article of Atari's history. The Atari falling as a company now comes into action and how it's still relevant in today's communities. Really, the Atari was out of date and could not compete up with Nintendo and also the new Game Boy that was now portable. All of these new advancements in technology resulted in them finally passing the Atari in the past. It had a big run, but they ended up selling the brand to Warner. Warner Productions had the bad input into Atari business. It ended up losing a total of $533 million in 1983. They ended up selling the Atari to Hasbro Interactive. Now the Atari has really become a thing of the past, but not forgotten. With its picture that amazed many people of the time and the new technology, it has shaped the gaming community. There are so many new advancements to new gaming consoles, which really the Atari could do nothing about it. Nolan's founding of the Atari and Chuck E. Cheese's were great, but one was outdated. The Atari was introduced to impact the world for years to come until its crumble. It had a good run, but it showed things that all things must come to an end.